actually hurt.
No, I think she is.
Yeah, she's hurt. She took a hard fall off there. Boy, gosh, I hope she's okay.
Oh, it's good to hear from the grape lady again. No, Frank, she was not okay. Scarred for life. Welcome in. It's another edition of the Daily Puck Drop. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag the DPD. Happy draft day to one and all. Of course, the huge story of the day is it is the NFL draft. Big thanks to everybody watching and listening right now on all of the platforms, YouTube. Subscribe there if you're not a subscriber. Just PuckSports. Hit the subscribe button. Comment, like away. All of it helps this little mom and pop feature that is PuckSports. You can also follow along all the content. One-stop shop is also on the website at PuckSports.com. And again, it's all the audio and video and stuff that you can obviously still get on your phone or just watch on YouTube. But there'll be more stuff that's going to be going up on the website soon. Also on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you find your podcast. YouTube Music, by the way, too. For those who don't know, if you're like an Android user, YouTube Music is a good one. They kind of morphed. I think it was Google Podcast. They've now morphed into YouTube Music. So you can download that, and PuckSports is there as well for all of you Android heathens out there that when you text and then the pictures don't go through, you sons of bitches. Yeah, for you, all right? We make life easier for you guys. All right, so like, subscribe on all those platforms. Please leave comments where you can. It just helps the cause. All right, we got NFL draft. We've got we'll touch on the M's and the Bryce Miller problem still in Texas. Big news in the media world involving your Seattle Kraken, and then some news and notes stuff at the end, kind of off the wall stories. I got a great story on my son that's going to be a good one, and I have a new breakfast feature that I'm enjoying now for several days in a row. That's not really a breakfast, but I think it can pass. Anyways. All right, NFL draft is here. What are the Seahawks going to do? All I do is go to that Pro Football Focus website, and I just sit there and do the little mock draft simulator. I get a kick out of it, like what kind of grades that you can get. The highest grade that I've got is Laiatu Latu from UCLA, the defender. That's an A+. They love that guy. Here's the only thing that makes me concerned about him, and he's a great kid, by the way. When we're back at the radio station, one of the last things we did was the Morris Trophy Award luncheon, and he and Troy Fotanu won the awards for the best offensive lineman in the Pac-12, best defensive lineman in the Pac-12. It's a cool award because it's voted on by the players. Generally, the players know who the best guys are. Of course, these guys should have been teammates. Latu, of course, started his career at UW, then goes to UCLA. Now, he went to UCLA because of the neck injury. Didn't play for a couple of years. He wasn't cleared by UW doctors. He's cleared by UCLA, and that turns out to be just a fantastic player and one of, if probably the not best edge rusher in this draft. And if he's there at 16, do you take him? Why does it make me so nervous, though? I mean, here's a guy that if he sustains this neck injury one more time, he's likely done. I mean, he was pretty much done the first time. This fusion surgery that he had on his neck, they say if he has to do it again, which I don't know, likelihood of it happening probably high, that you don't do that operation a second time. So I have some reserves about him just because of that, not because of the talent, not because of the kid. Like I said, we interviewed him. He's just a home run dude. Like, this is exactly the type of guy you want on your football team. So if Latu is there and available, I think it will be intriguing for the Seahawks to take him. Because what is Seattle missing? You look at it, right? Edge rushers. And, of course, they've had the injuries last year. Nwosu was a huge, loss for that defense. But they don't have guys that just one-on-one, without any type of scheming, beat you off the edge. Well, this guy is that. He is one-on-one. You don't need to scheme me up. I will beat my man no matter what. So, obviously, that's massively intriguing. He's just an all-around incredible athlete. I remember the game when he played against the Cougs. They lined him up everywhere. And UCLA had a very pro-style kind of defense. not college-like moving guys around. Very similar when you hear Mike Macdonald talk about we want to disguise things and confuse things and show them different formations. I like that for McDonald because it's taking an offensive approach to defense of all the window dressing that offenses like Kyle Shanahan, McVay, and others show. But really, it's kind of basic, but they want you to think something else is going on. It's kind of like the mentality of what McDonald wants to do and has done defensively. And someone like Leotu Latu would just be sensational. I mean, you want Puck's big board? A charcuterie board? I like a nice soft cheese. You've got to have some brie in there. There's got to be some types of mixed nuts and then a fruit to kind of balance out the saltiness of the nuts and also the tanginess of the cheese. I do like that real kind of that pepper jelly that you can put on the crackers. That's my big board tonight. That's what I'm going with. All right, here's what I want. If I just want one of these guys. I don't know if any of them are going to be good. No one does. None of these draft guys do. It's all projections. Fatano, if he's there, that works. Byron Murphy, he's there, that works. The Jazon, Johnny Newton, he's there out of Illinois, yes. Chop Robinson, yes. Dallas Turner, yes. Jared Verse, why not? Leotu Latu, sign me up. I just want the best interior offensive or defensive lineman in general. So I'll take the edge rushers because Latu and Robinson aren't inside. But I just want the best offensive lineman, which at that point it's going to be Fatano if he's there. Or I want the best defensive lineman, preferably interior. That's probably Murphy. Or, I know there's a debate, Murphy or Newton. That's what I want. I'm just going to keep it simple. I know the quarterback situation will be appealing if Michael Penix is there, and I noticed a lot of fans here would probably want to pull that trigger. In the future, obviously, you need a quarterback. They have just got to get better up front. We have been just banging that into your guys' heads for the last, few weeks since we've been doing this. But I think this is only the third week we've been doing this. It does feel like it's been a long time. Feels like it's been about 3 years. But they just got to get more physical and more dominant up front. We all watch them play. We know the deficiencies of the Seahawks. The deficiencies offensively for the Seahawks is up the middle. They for the most part, they can't run up the middle. They can't protect up the middle. They're not physical at the point of attack. Defensively, they're so up and down. They don't generate a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They've got to scheme it a ton to get guys free. And for the most part, when teams wanted to run the football on them, they'll run right down their throat. Go back and look at the Pittsburgh game. When Pittsburgh came in here and just beat the crap out of them physically. They need there's always a great phrase that they use. I think it's in college football recruiting. They need a war daddy. They just need a big tub of goo. They plop in the middle. And hopefully it's Murphy if Murphy is still around there for the Seahawks. But that's what I would like to see. You leave comments on down below in YouTube. Also hit that subscribe button and tell me what you want. Because what I don't want them to do, and I get that it's from 16 to, 81, right? In the third round. That's a huge gap for them. He clearly doesn't want to probably wait that long to make a selection, John Schneider. But I will look at the draft as they already have a second-round pick, and that's Leonard Williams. I'm not obsessed with adding another second-round pick because I do go into this draft with the mentality that they already have one, and that's him. They signed him. He's ready to go. He is a proven commodity. Now, how good of a commodity is he? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out under Mike Macdonald. I don't think it is necessary that he has to trade down to acquire a second-round pick. There's no guarantee that second-round pick is any good. So it's a risk-reward. You trade down in the first round to acquire that second-round pick. Well, now you are, and the numbers back it up. The further you go down in the draft, the less likely that player is good. That's also just common sense too. But the further that they go down to acquire, let's say, another pick in the second round, it's twofold. There's no guarantee that this guy's any good in the second round. You pretty much have a guarantee. You know what Leonard Williams is. And then as you go further down in the first round, you are squeezing that talent pool. You are shrinking that talent pool. The numbers back it up in terms of Pro Bowls, All Pros, top 16 picks. Clearly more likely to find someone there than if you find someone if you move down into the 20s, mid-20s, late first round. It's obvious. So, John, when you raise a glass tonight, and I'll raise a glass in your honor. In fact, I'll be drinking it because our draft show is brought to you by Georgetown Brewery, and I've got Georgetown beer, and I can drink. And I'm going to be sitting here for 3 hours doing a draft show tonight, and I'm going to have a couple of pops. All right? This is going to be anarchy here at the Puckett household in Bel Air. The wife's CEO is gone on a gal's booze trip. My kids will be running around. Dogs are going to be screaming. You'll probably get the vampire appearance tonight because he's going to come in and want something. Yeah, he's got baseball practice. He'll probably forget that he has baseball practice. So then he'll come in here and say, do I have baseball practice tonight? Well, you sure do. You know, old Doug's picking you up. So let's get a move on. So there will be chaos here tonight. But I will be enjoying probably a Johnny Utah, maybe a Rogers. And so listen up, Johnny. When you're drinking as well in that draft room, that war room tonight, you put in your coffee mug. I don't care. Hide it from the cameras in there. Can you just stay at 16? Do us all Seahawks fans a favor and just stay there. Make a pick. Take the best player that is available at 16 and go. All right, other news and notes out of the NFL draft. Daniel Jeremiah, who, all these guys, I just said earlier that none of them really can ever, and they can. They'll admit this. They can't predict. They don't know these guys are truly going to be good players. They just make the best educated opinions that they can. Daniel Jeremiah has them taking a cornerback. I said corner. Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. Now, he's a stud. He's awesome. Do we want to draft another corner? And he may, I will say this, and we can say this now, and we can come back and apologize and reverse our opinion. We said it before, and I'll say it again on a new platform. There are no awards for being right in this business. There isn't an Academy Awards for sports talk takes at the end of the year. There's none. There's some people that are so obsessed with that, but there are no awards for that. Okay, so if they select a corner, let's say it's Terrion Arnold, and this guy is clearly the best option, I immediately will be disappointed. I don't want a cornerback. Okay, I don't. They drafted one last. I need someone inside. He's an All-American. He's all SEC. He's a stud. And so I know in the back of my head, well, if he's really good, just take him. You just said take the best player available, and he could be the best player available, even though it's not a priority. Priority to me, I'm sorry, is the interior line of this football team, offense and defense. Got to find somebody in there. They just got to do it. They've been killing themselves. Get beat up front too much. They can make it work with the other corners that they got. Maybe they've got something else planned for Devin Witherspoon. Just please draft a big fat ass, will you? Just do it for me. Fellow fat ass to John Schneider. Please just draft that guy. So that's what Jeremiah has. Mel Kiper in his news and notes this morning, just like buzz stuff, things that he's hearing, says that Michael Penix is not going to fall past 13. And that, of course, is where the Raiders pick. Been a lot of buzz on the Raiders, right? Wanting to move up, if they can, to number 2 with Washington to get Jaden Daniels. So that's all the rumors out there. The connection, obviously, with Daniels and the coaching staff now with the Raiders. So probably don't have enough arsenal to move all the way up from 13 to 2. We'll see. And if you're Washington and you're convinced that you love Jaden Daniels, why do you move off of it? Don't move off of anything. Here's one. I haven't seen this anywhere, but I am intrigued by it. I don't think it's going to happen at all. But Seahawks have been known to do some weird, crazy stuff, right, on the draft. picks, trades, whatever. I wonder at all, because of the money he makes, just maybe the production. Now, maybe things change because they have a new offensive coordinator coming in and he looks at him and goes, oh, he's a stud. We're good. Would they at all flirt with moving DK Metcalf tonight? I think it's interesting. I mean, I think it's something that some have talked about. It hasn't been out there a ton. But there is I wonder how this new staff views him. I mean, I like DK. I love DK. But there is a growing frustration, I think, with him at times, how he conducts himself, the on and off nature, really, of his production and his play. Now, was that a reflection on the offensive coordinator, the system, not putting him in the right position, and Ryan Grubb and his system will do a better job? Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Also want to know, I mean, the antics not off the field. It's not off the field. He didn't do anything off the field. It's on the field stuff. It's the dumb penalties, the things that were ignored, frankly, by Pete Carroll. I mean, Pete Carroll let him get away with a ton. Perhaps this new offensive staff just will simply say, we don't tolerate that. And if you continue to act that way, we'll just bench you. We'll find out. I mean, Mike McDonald at least appears to me, and kind of where he comes from in that system, a little bit more of a hard-ass old-school coach than probably Pete Carroll. Not so much the rah-rah motivational guy. So, but I don't know. I think it's just something to keep an eye out for tonight, is whether or not that they would flirt with the potential of moving on from DK Metcalf. Our NFL draft show, brought to you by Georgetown Brewery, will start at 5 o'clock tonight. You can watch it on YouTube. So if you're watching it right now on YouTube, we'll be here. It will go live at 5 o'clock. If you're not on YouTube and want to watch it on X, Twitter, just go to my account or my handle at Puck2040. That's Puck2040 to watch it there as well. We are going live at 5 o'clock. We are going to stay on as long as we can before I have to go to the bathroom. Now, there is the question of, if I have to go pee, what do I do? A, do I just walk up my bathroom and I'm taping this. This is my office. My bathroom is right there, right as you're watching this, kind of behind you as I'm looking at the camera. Does that make sense? So I can do it real quick. I don't really have a filler. It'll just be people there. Or do I go Scott Hansen, red zone, and just go the entire time? Or Gatorade bottle. That might be a little odd. I think you'll be watching this. You'll be kind of knowing what's going on. Yeah, that might be a bad idea. That could be that could go really wrong. But we'll start at 5 o'clock tonight, broadcasting on all the channels, YouTube and X. And I'm just going to tell you, no one else has this access that this show will have tonight. No one. And that's not like bragging and saying we're better than everybody else. I'm just saying no one else has got this. No one else has an NFL Network reporter, Mike Garafolo, who will be with us basically the majority of the time, sitting in Los Angeles doing the show from the network, inside the network studio's belly. And he has access to all of the inside information when trades happen, picks happen, all of it. No one's got that. No one has access inside the network studio, but we do here on this radio program. I said radio. I knew I was going to slip at some point and say radio program. But here on this platform, again, YouTube and X. So for all you Seahawks fans, anywhere and everywhere, because I know we're going to have some international fans. Hello to all in London, because Rob Staten is going to be here from Seahawks Draft Blog as well, alongside Mike Garafolo. Rob's going to come on the beginning of the show, the first 20, 25 minutes or so, and then we'll cut him loose because he's got his old responsibilities at SeahawksDraftBlog.com, and then, of course, his YouTube page. Please go check it out. He'll do a recap after the draft, after the round, at Rob Staten there on YouTube. Bob Condotta, Seattle Times. Tim Booth, Associated Press. Curtis Crabtree, Fox 13. Those guys are going to jump on around 6 o'clock or so, live from the VMAC. We'll get their reaction. What are they hearing? What are they seeing? What's going on at the VMAC? What's being served for dinner? Because I'll be honest, I will miss being there for the food because it's so damn good. I mean, I think it's usually maybe tomorrow's crab cakes. There's probably a pork tenderloin tonight. Maybe some type of beef. Just everything. The nuts bar, just the snacks, all of it. You gain 15 pounds when you go over there. It's glorious. Dessert, fabulous. That whole crew there, I'm missing those guys in the kitchen. They are just awesome. Awesome dudes. So that I'll miss that, but I'll ask those guys right off the bat. Hey, what's being served for dinner? So those guys will be on around 6 o'clock. If they stay at 16, likely we'll pick right around 7 o'clock. So we'll have that for you. And a cool feature, I'll send a link out through the video platform that we do. You'll be able to have a live chat with us. I'll be able to see all your questions and comments. And on our platform, when I send that link out, it's via Riverside is how we broadcast. Think of Riverside as like a broadcasting equivalent to Zoom. You will be able to join the show, like a live call-in, a video in. Let's call it that, because that's what it is. A live video in. Actually, I think you can just go call in as well, because there is a mode where you can just have your voice heard over the broadcast and not the video. But anyways, I'm giving you too much information. There'll be a link that will be sent out right when the show starts that you will be able to interact with us. And at some point after they make the selection, by that 7 o'clock hour, 7:30, we will open it up to you. And you get to be a part of the show. We'll bring you on. You'll be a star. We're going to look at each other and we'll gaze into my beautiful blue eyes and your blue eyes. And you'll be able to ask away and react to whatever the Seahawks did there at 16. If they do pick at 16, they may trade down. You never know. All right, so that's our NFL draft coverage. Again, 5 o'clock tonight on YouTube. Search PuckSports, and also on X at Puck2040. Mike Garofalo inside the network studios will join us from Los Angeles. Rob Staten from London, England. SeahawksDraftBlog.com. Go check it out. His latest mock draft. It's awesome. So much detail. It's incredible. I can't believe all the work he does. Bob Condotta's got the 4 things to look for tonight at theSeattleTimes.com. Tim Booth has got a piece up there. Associated Press. I tweeted it out a little bit earlier. I go check out his work discussing the draft, and the same as for Curtis Crabtree from Fox 13. All right, Bryce Miller, quickly, let's transition to the Mariners before we get out of here on the Daily Puck Drop, the DPD. Bryce Miller still has a Texas problem. Not as bad as it was last year when he made a couple of starts down there. They lose last night 5-1. They're 12-12 on the season. Home runs there in that 4th inning, which was really kind of the only bad real inning for him. Team made a couple of errors in the game. Both late, obstruction getting in the way of that play at first base. Mitch Haniger, I don't know what happened. He didn't have a good game. That was kind of Little League-like. The ball just slips out of his hands. That was an error. But the Miller story, not as bad as it has been in the past. I think he feels some pressure of pitching there. It's a great lineup. Bunch of left-handers, switch hitters. That's why I incorporated the split finger. Had some success, not as much as that he'd want, clearly. But I just think a lot of it is right up in his head. That's what I think. He has so many family and friends there. He's a Texas guy. He wants to perform well for them, and he probably just overpitches and puts too much pressure on himself. That's what I think it is, more than anything. Offense couldn't get it going last night. They scored just that 1 run, despite having runners in scoring position, 5 of the first 6 innings. Rojas looks good. That leadoff spot, okay. Different, but I like it. Of course, with JP being out, I was dealing with the oblique strain. I did ask on X last night. I don't know where my oblique is, and I think that would be fairly obvious to many of you that have seen me. So, yeah, I don't know where it's at. If you know where it's at, leave a comment below there on YouTube. The big inning was probably that 5th inning. Offense should have got something going. Rojas led off there with a single. Polanco had a single, so he had runners on the corner, 1st and 3rd, with just 1 out. Julio had struck out. Haniger strikes out swinging. Ty France, just 3 pitches, grounds out. So, boom, 5th inning. Offense that you could have maybe got right back into the game, especially after they had just scored those 2 home runs, which was a hell of an effort by Julio on that Garcia home run, by the way. You squander that. 8th inning, probably I think of all the at-bats I've seen from Mitch Haniger, probably the most feeble at-bat that I think he probably has ever had. I mean, that was a rough AB for him. That was 3 pitches looking. Bang, 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 out. Had that error in right field. Just was not a good game for him. Last thing I'll say about the Mariners, because this was a big offseason acquisition. Mitch Garver has been a major, major disappointment for this team. I mean, hey, thanks, Tips. I watched the games too. And I know. But he's just been not good. Not good at all. You know what he's slugging? Has anyone looked up his slugging percentage? 234. It's just so bad. Why can't this team find a designated hitter? Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard for these guys? Is it because we had like the best one ever? The one that the award is named after. And so the baseball gods just said, F you guys. You had him. You'll never have anyone ever again. That's what I'm starting to believe. All right, let's transition. TV, media stuff. Well, we talked about this last week. We told you this is what was going to happen. This was not like a secret or in the sports world. There was a lot. This has been talked about for a very, very long time. But the Kraken finally make it official. They have left Root Sports. They are heading to King and Kong. It's part of Tegna, who owns them. 70 games across Western Washington. All games not televised nationally will be free over the air. The games will appear on Kong, and then a number of those games, probably the big ones, will be simulcast on King 5. Now, if you're watching this, listening to this down in Portland, you'll get those games on KGW, which is another Tegna station. If you're across the mountains, God's country over there, Spoke-A-Vegas, Spokanistan, Spoke-Compton, Krem. Krem is a Tegna station. They'll have the games over there as well. The booth will remain the same. John Forsland, I guess, had been rumored to maybe take the Bruins job, but Forsland, JT Brown, Eddie Olczyk, Nick Olczyk, Allison Lukin will all remain. They also will be streamed. So if you don't have a TV at all or an antenna, I say antenna wrong. I know I do. It doesn't sound right when I say it. Antenna. Antenna? Antenna. Antenna? Antenna. It's awful. Every time I say it, it sounds wrong. I know it's wrong. Games will be streamed through Amazon Prime. Prime users, if you're like me, who isn't a Prime user, by the way, will automatically have the game. So there's no extra fee, nothing at all. Great news. Now, if you have YouTube TV, you don't have Kong. I've got Fubo, you don't have Kong. So that's disappointing, but I've got Prime, so okay. What will the Mariners do? My guess is the Mariners will do something similar, whether it's Kong or King or they go to Fox 13. Maybe that's what they do. But the Mariners, like, I've seen the reactions on social media. Well, what are the Mariners going to do? They're doing the same thing. They will not be on route next year. They are going to either go to Kong and King or go to Fox 13, and then they have Fox 13 Plus. Or Sinclair, like ABC, like Como could be an option because Sinclair has a second channel as well. They'll do that. They'll go to a streaming service. Their streaming service will be MLB TV. So it's not going to be Amazon Prime, but because everything is going to go under the umbrella of MLB.TV. They'll lift the blackout restrictions and you'll be able to watch it. So that's what's going to happen there. Last note, said it last week or 2 weeks ago. Kraken, Lywicki, I'm looking at you. I'm talking to you. Hire Ian Furness. Okay, just do it. He's the best, most knowledgeable hockey person in this city, in this region. The passion is unparalleled. Just do it. Do what is right for the hockey community, for God's sakes, and hire Ian Furness. All right. Little ins and outs, tidbits real quick. In-N-Out Burger. There's another one that's coming to Western Washington. Actually, it's not Western Washington, Southwest Washington. Apparently, like, Vancouver area is where everybody wants to go. I don't know. There's one, I think it's being constructed, if I can spit that out, in Ridgefield, but then there's another one in East Vancouver. We didn't grow up with it, so I really don't care. My only comment on In-N-Out is this. One, burgers are good, shakes are great. So that's 2 comments. Here's the third comment. The fries. If you have to ask them to cook it twice, which is that's like the secret recipe, I don't know what they call it, like double cooked or something, then their fries aren't good. They should be cooked great the first time. That's it. I'll move on. I really don't care. The vampire. This is a great story. For all you parents out there, he's 10. So if you have a 10-year-old, you understand. And even if you don't have a 10-year-old, you have kids, you get it. So the vampire's been grounded for a week. Okay? 1 week. Violation of, let's just say team rules. Violation of team rules. So 1 week, this is like no pad, no Fortnite, so I don't have to listen to, bro, why are you shooting me? Bro, what are you doing? I don't have to listen to that for a week. So nothing. Can't play with friends, got to come home from school, chores, clean room, read his book, whatever. So yesterday was the first of the week suspension violation of team rules. This, and first of all, my son and I, we are exactly alike. To a T. I was exactly like him as a kid. Okay. So I know all the tricks. I know what he's doing. I know what he's up to. This son of a bitch couldn't be nicer yesterday. I mean, he's walking around. What can I get you? Hey, I'll ask him to do anything. Okay, you need to go pick up the dog poop outside. Okay, you need to go blow all the leaves off the putting green. You need to go clean your room. You need to go put your clothes away. You need to go fold your clothes. This guy, no problem. You got it, bud. Goes and does it all. No complaints, no rolling of the eyes, no shaking of the head. This guy, he's just like, then he'll do the task and he'll be like, what else do you need? Oh, I'll just give him any task. Last night we make dinner. The guy's serving me dinner. Hey, can I get you that? Let me plate you like we're at a 5-star restaurant. Okay, no problem, vampire. Go ahead. Can I get you seconds? This guy buttering me up. So he's just going on and on with this. Finally, we're watching the baseball game, and I said, "Hey, everything you're doing, do you think this is going to get me to reduce your suspension?" And he just kind of pauses and goes, Well, is it? I will say, if he keeps it up, we may go to the arbitrator and reduce the suspension. But I really enjoy the sucking up. God, it's good. And I'm going to tell you, 24 hours without Fortnite, I think he's already become a better kid. He's already become a better kid. Lastly, I have a new breakfast item that I've been enjoying the last several days. I've had it 3 times in the last week. And I want to know if you think, what classifies as something for breakfast? Does it matter what it is? So I've been having grilled cheese sandwiches for breakfast. I mean, it's bread and cheese. Cheese is protein, carbs, right? Isn't that 2 things that you need? Is it odd to have a grilled cheese for breakfast? I mean, I can have a grilled cheese like all the time, but for breakfast, leave a comment below. Do you eat something weird for breakfast? God, I love grilled cheese. Now, the one thing I thought of, because what goes great with grilled cheese? Tomato soup. Can I incorporate the tomato soup into with the grilled cheese for breakfast? Yes or no? I think yeah. And I think I'm going to try it probably tomorrow. All right. Happy Thursday to all. Have a wonderful draft day. Reminder, NFL Draft Show, all brought to you by Georgetown Brewery. Big thanks to Manny, Roger, Matt, everyone associated with Georgetown for sponsoring tonight's show. 5 o'clock on YouTube, PuckSports. Also on X, Puck2040 is the handle. Watch it all there. We'll see you tonight. Oh, reminder, no tape shows today with Rob Staten and Mike Garofolo. Giving the boys off today, so none of their weekly appearances because they're going to be on the draft show tonight starting at 5 o'clock. So Thursday edition of the DPD in the books. We'll talk to you tonight. As always, we promise to be better.
No shirt, no shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!